Hey everybody, it's Boardman21 and today's build is going to be the Shaman doing a full out freeze build. We're bringing totems back. It's not going to be like yesterday's build where we were doing high freeze and high stun and mixing it up with both and having a no totem build. This is going to involve totems. You get more protections, and the Shaman is based around totems a lot. A lot of the passives incorporate them, the mastery incorporates them, so they're good to have. So we are going back to that, and then on top of it, we're just going full into freeze, and this is going to be basically the build that Foe ran that got him to 446 waves with the Shaman. Now, when we run this, your freeze chance is going to be huge. We're going to be sitting at 1500% plus global freeze chance, and then your skills themselves, like Avalanche, come with an additional 200%, and then your chest and your helm are going to have a increased percentage chance based on how many stacks of chill are on the enemy. So you can get up to about 2500% freeze chance with Avalanche, and slightly less than um, that with Maelstrom. I believe Maelstrom can give you like 160% instead of 200%, so just under 2500% increased freeze chance, but its base freeze rate's a bit lower. And then Ice Thorns will also be doing a freeze chance, so you'll have Avalanche, you'll have Maelstrom, and you'll have Ice Thorns that are all going to be hitting very, very often, and they're going to have a massive amount of chance to freeze. It'll become less of a chance to freeze the higher you get in the arena, because the more health that mobs have, the less your chances. But it downgrades very, very slowly, and the percentage isn't going to be huge. But right off the bat, in the first 100 waves, you're going to notice that you will be freezing everything right off the bat. You'll be even perma-freezing bosses, and that incredible CC is what's going to make you so survivable and have the ability to go really far. The higher you get in the arena, as you get to about 300 waves, your freeze is going to become less for the bosses. You'll still get trash mobs fairly easily, but the bosses will be what finishes you off, because you won't be able to freeze them, and of course your defenses are only so strong as a shaman. With that, let's go ahead and get into the skills. Alright, for skills we're going to be running Avalanche, Summon Thorn Totem, Maelstrom, Ice Thorns, and Tempest Strike. For Avalanche, we have this set up as a cast and forget. It's going to be almost identical to what we had in the previous build yesterday, but we have 1 point in Mountain Peak, 1 point in Precision, 1 point in Wild Path, 4 points in Unyielding Storm, 1 point in Hailstorm, 3 points in Intensity, 4 points in Stormfront, 3 points in Dead of Winter, 1 point in Frost, and 1 point in Frost Touch. For Summon Thorn Totem, which we'll be running instead of Tornado, we're having to summon as many as possible, and then giving them the ability to do the Frost Clouds and the Frost or Freeze Chance. And the Freeze Clouds that you get, or Chill Clouds that you get, will keep and make sure that all enemies are being chilled. As long as everything else that you do will be chilling everything, you'll basically guaranteed have 3 stacks of chill on all enemies after about 1 second of them being around you. But with this, we have 3 points in Forested Expanse, 3 points in Internal Forest, 1 point in Groove Mind, 2 points in Memories of Edera, 5 points in Venom Tipped Thorns, 1 point in Lasting Affliction, 3 points in Rotten Core, 1 point in Ice Thorn Totems, and 1 point in Frost Attunement. And then for Maelstrom, we have 5 points in Turmoil, 3 points in Whirlpool, 3 points in Sleep Footed, 2 points in Arctic Chill, 2 points in Arctic Blast, and 1 point in Sudden Gale. You'll notice we are no longer in the stun chance. We went 100% freeze on this one, and we wanted Maelstrom to have a chance to freeze and to also chill, so we got rid of all of the stun and slow. And then we have 3 points in Healing Winds. We also have a couple of idols that increase your healing effectiveness. So you get 6 health healed per second per stack, and with 7, let's just say 7 stacks on average, that means that you're getting 42 health healed per second, and we have just under 200% healing effectiveness, which puts us at about 110 health being healed per second just from Maelstrom. So that's just an extra defensive layer to regen your health really quickly and not just depend on leech or on health regen. For Ice Thorns, we have this as casting as many times as possible, as fast as possible, while giving you the ability to cast it for free and to give you 4 stacks of Forward Heart. So we have 2 points in Cold Prison, 4 points in Forward Heart. This is going to give you a 100% increased cold damage and a 160% increased global freeze rate multiplier. 1 point in Emblem of Might to make it free, 1 point in Anim Affiliate, 1 point in Thorn Shield, 1 point in Second Nature, and 6 points in Floric Tides, which will reduce the cooldown to 1 second, which means you will cast it every second. And with 4 points in Bulb Shield, every time you cast it, you have a 40% chance to cast it again, which means that your average casting of this skill will be every 0.6 seconds. And then for Tempest Strike, we are just using this as a mana generator. We have 1 point in Chilling Blows, 1 point in Winter's Blast, 1 point in Hailstorm, 1 point in Grounded, 1 point in Reinforced Stone, 1 point in Static, 2 points in With the Wind, 1 point in Tempestuous, 1 point in Mute Earth, 1 point in Dead Wind, 1 point in Charged Stone, 3 points in Thirsty Blade, so if you do hit something, you get 15 health, and 5 points in Unspent Power, so that when nothing procs, which nothing will, you get 20 mana gained. For passives, we have 24 points in the base Primalist class with 5 points in Natural Attunement, 5 points in Tempest Born, 1 point in Hunter's Restoration, 5 points in Wisdom of the Wild, 5 points in Thorn Bond, and 3 points in Elder Branch, 0 points in Beastmaster, 0 points in Druid, and 89 points in the Mastered Shaman. For 8 points in Ancient Stones, 8 points in Silent Protector, 8 points in Tempest Form, 10 points in Windbringer, 5 points in both Hailbringer and Shattered Heavens, 5 points in Protective Circle, 10 points in Heroine's Path, 8 points in Rune of Awe, 8 points in Elemental Shrines, 6 points in Swirling Maelstrom, and 8 points in Ascendant Circle. The 6 points in Swirling Maelstrom will give you a 30% chance to cast Maelstrom when you are hit. It also gives you some additional health and mana. This will allow you, since insta-cast Maelstrom has a cooldown and you can only cast it so many times before they start wearing off, you only have 6 or 7 stacks active at all times, but this will allow you to get to 8, 9, or 10, and when you do have more than the 7, you of course get additional healing, you have more freeze chance, you get everything that's benefited from having more stacks. Alright, and for items, we have 2 different types of idols going on. We have increased healing effectiveness, which usually comes with some sort of protection on the bottom. In this case, we have poison protection. We're running 2 of those, and then for the 1x4s, we have a chance to summon a Thorn Totem with increased cold damage per active totem, and we have a chance to cast a boulder at a nearby enemy with more cold damage per active totem. For items, you're running freeze chance on everything you can, and in order to do that, you can only run 1 set item, which means we're running set dodge, and we're not running set elemental. Instead, we have increased freeze rate multiplier, and then we have a protection and dodge as suffixes. We're running that on all 4 jewelry pieces, so we have just a massive amount of increased freeze chance, along with quite a bit of protections and a massive amount of dodge percentage increased. Then for the helm and the chest, you want the freeze rate per stack of chill, and we have on the helm critical strike avoidance. On the chest, we have increased shared cold damage. We also went with attunement on as many items as we could, and the reason for that is the more attunement that you have, you get 4% more damage and 4% more freeze rate with your cold skills. We'll get into that in just a second. And then for the belt, the boots, and the gloves, we went with set glancing blow, more protections, and then with attunement on the boots and with freeze chance on the gloves. And then for the weapon, you have cold damage, you have spell damage, you have freeze rate multiplier, which ours here is only a tier 3, but if you get tier 5, you can get up to, I think it's 400 or 450% freeze rate multiplier, which is huge. And then we went with set elemental, since we don't have that as our jewelry set pieces anymore. And then getting into the attunement, so on this build here, we actually have 41 points of attunement. And that means that for our skill like, say, Avalanche, which benefits from 4% freeze rate multiplier per point of attunement, we have an additional 164% multiplier freeze rate on this skill, on top of the up to 200% that you get with the skill itself, which is added to your 1,348% global, which once you start doing attacks, once we run Ice Thorns a few times, your global at all times will actually be 1508 at all times. And then all of that will be added to that, but you won't see that in global. For your skill, like Ice Thorns, will also get that freeze rate multiplier bonus, and Maelstrom will also get that freeze rate multiplier. So having a lot of attunement not only gives you more elemental defenses, but it will increase the amount of freeze chance that you have. With that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some gameplay.